introduce ourselves.
They're coming. It can't be.
Where is everyone?
Hello, survivors. Makeshift here. It has been a hell of a year. 2023 kind of starts to finally feel like the world has gotten back to normal. And by normal, I mean all sorts of fucked up in all new ways. But just like the years of COVID, I'm having a very hard time remembering what the hell we did this year, what anyone did this year. It all just starts to go into this one big blur of the last 5 years or so. So we're going to go over all the things that happened this year in 2023 in the post-apocalypse world. We're not going to go over everything, for crying out loud. Then we'd have to talk about wars and famines and all the stinking horsemen of the emboldened apocalypse that is upon us. Anyway, I can't do it myself, so you guys will recognize my guest today. He does his own show on Instagram every Wednesday, Wasteland Wednesdays, on his Instagram under the Cosmetic Mechanic. It's Marky Makeup, and he's going to help me to remember all the things. Hi, Marky.
Marky Makeup, your cosmetic mechanic. We are
Welcome.
live. Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
You know, you mentioned Wasteland Wednesday. Next week, episode 150.
No kidding, 150.
Yeah.
And that's a weekly show, so you're talking about, like, you're getting pretty darn close to 3 years running.
23, yeah. So 24,
oh
yep.
And can I just say, the last time I was on there, I hadn't really been paying attention to your numbers on Instagram, but it looks like it's working, sir, because your Instagram numbers are up there.
We go out every Wednesday live to over 17,000 followers worldwide. Yes.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see people who connect with the wacky stuff that they may not see in their own neighborhood that we do here, you know?
And I mean, you've got your own theme song too, which I need to work on. I got to get my own da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, it's more like hold music, but yeah. How are you? How was your 23? How was it? Good? In the world of Mike Darling?
Yeah, my 23 was pretty damn good. Oh, shoot. A 23 on the verge of spontaneous combustion, right? It was a good one. So, I mean, we're going to go over quite a few of these things, but I got to do some really fun stuff. There was some really great post-apocalypse media to watch. And I'm going to really quickly do a shout out to post-apocalypse media because they put up if you haven't listened to post-apocalypse media podcast, they do a lot of the current event stuff. So that's kind of what I steer away from. I don't do a whole lot of current events. I try to stay more like evergreen with the content. Every now and then I'll do like a review of something new that comes out. But if you're looking for like updates on TV and movies and all sorts of other news that happens in real time, post-apocalyptic media is a great way to go. They've got a full website with some great reading involved, but they are great. And so actually when I was researching this episode, here's what I'm trying to say. I ended up on their website and I went through the podcast they did this year. And just by reading the headlines, I got reminded of a lot of the post-apocalypse stuff that came out.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah. So anyway, listeners, if you're out there, they're not really like a sister show, but they are definitely friends of this show. That's right. And one other shout out while I'm on it, Post-Apocalypse Events. That's Carl Bartoszynski's website that kind of documents all of the live in-person events that happen throughout the year. He's got them all listed and they are for the entire world. And so if you're interested in going to one of these events, some of the ones that we're going to talk about later, you can check that out. And it's at pst-apocalyptic.com, I believe is that website. I'm going to double check that. But Marky, where else do you find your post-apocalypse news besides your own show?
Oh boy. It's all friends and my algorithm pretty much serves it up at this point. I think this year in particular, we've had a lot of community meetups, a lot of in-person meetups. So that's been keeping me informed. Yeah.
And I got to say all the different Facebook groups that you become a part of when you're one of them Wastelanders. I got to say the fan group, the Wastelander community is really good at letting you know like what is great out there. right?
Absolutely, yeah. They bring you the headlines.
Yeah. And I did double check it. It was post-apoc-events.com if you want to check out all the live in-person events you can go throughout the year. You can go to. Anyway, so what do we want to talk about today? Let's talk about a few of our favorites.
Let's go to it. Where to begin, sir? Where to begin?
All right. Well, so I have been so wonderfully gifted with as being part of a list, and I've heard it called the list a few times. And this list gets sent out some free comic books.
Exclusive.
And some exclusive. Well, it's not really exclusive. the list is, but the comic books they are always available for sale. And I think that might be why I'm on the list, is because, we're the people that can help talk about some things. But yeah, I'm excited about this one because one of the comic books that's come in has been a series called Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. And they were coming in kind of like monthly for a little bit. The 10th one came out recently. You've got this too, right, Marky?
I've got the 10th one right here. If you're on
gosh.
the video, if you're on the video style.
Yeah. Yeah. Show us the front.
The artwork is fantastic. It's really nice.
Yeah.
That nice gradient.
And just so you guys know, there are some very adult themes that happen in this comic book.
This isn't kid stuff. This is
no, it's not
from Boom Studios. If you know Boom Studios, they have a lot of IP. They have Power Rangers and stuff. But if you get your hands on this one, these are good. They're cute. They're fun.
Nice. Yeah, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. I actually put off reading it for a little while just because comic books aren't always my thing. But I finally sat down, dedicated myself to all right, let's get through some of these because, if they're good enough to send them to me, I'll be good enough to read them. But I got enthralled, really into it. So much so that even though I had misplaced, I think, chapter 6, maybe book 6, I very quickly ordered it on eBay to replace my missing one so that I could keep going in the series. Now I'm caught up to book 10, and I gotta say, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. It's really good and really surprising in so many ways, right?
It is. It's almost a refreshing look, since sometimes we get our own kind of tunnel vision of what we think it is.
Yeah.
What we think, the post-apocalypse is.
Right. Yeah, but I think if you guys give it a chance, you'll find that not only is the story amazing, but the art, just like Marky said earlier, is absolutely stellar. So fun.
Yeah. Get yours at Boom Studios there.
Yeah.
Once upon a time at the end of the world. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're short, kids. They're comic books. You can handle.
Oh yeah, they're maybe 10 or 15 minutes a read, give or take.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some of our favorite shows that came out this year.
What did you see? Was it light on the show, kind of on the menu?
I watched a ton of TV this year, I'll be honest. But yeah, I think the serving of post-apocalypse specific stuff was a little on the short side. However, the stuff that I did watch was really, really great. Let's start out with Last of Us. Did you get to see that?
Dun, dun, dun. Last of Us, I know my household did watch it, but I did. I had the first couple episodes and then I didn't return.
Hold on. You said the first couple episodes. You got through episode 2 and you were not absolutely hooked?
Did I see one very long first episode? Was the first episode an hour and a half? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. You got to watch the second episode. It's one of the best love stories of all time, and it's in a post-apocalypse show.
And it was set in fake Boston. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. But yeah, Last of Us was really well produced. So obviously it's based on the video game. The first video game. It kind of follows a lot of that storyline, and they are working on a season 2 that I believe is going to build off of the second video game storyline. But unlike Game of Thrones, the source material is a little short. So I think if the show does well and it keeps doing well, we're going to end up way ahead or just in different directions from the video game in no time.
I think a lot of things hinge on who is the highest bidder for Mr. Pedro Pascal's skills. I think a lot of shows and franchises are pursuing his talents. So,
yeah, isn't it crazy how actors can go from being relatively unknown, I'm talking about pre-Game of Thrones, to being in so much demand. I mean,
yep.
everyone wants a piece of Pedro right now.
Yeah, he seems super nice. And just to go off out of theme here, if you haven't seen his episode of Saturday Night Live where they're at the dinner table, holy smokes. Go see.
Okay.
Oh gosh, go see that.
Okay.
His episode. Hysterical.
All right, I'm gonna track that one down.
Improv comedy, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so next on my list, The Walking Dead. Have you watched much Walking Dead?
All right, you're going to tell me The Walking Dead is still on television?
Well, all right, so let me clarify.
Yeah.
This was the first year that we did not get a new season of the original Walking Dead. Their last season ended in 2022, and they ended that series. However, there are so many spin-offs and all new threads to this story that there's a lot of Walking Dead to be devoured. However,
there's like Fear of the Walking Dead, Children of the Walking Dead, Planet of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. But check this out. So in 2023, we got the finale to Fear the Walking Dead, which was the first spinoff. So now that one's wrapped up. And at the same time, well, I guess a few months later, the Daryl Dixon spinoff started. So it premiered this fall. I haven't seen it yet, but Daryl was one of my favorite characters from the original show, which I did not even get through the original show because it was fraught with bad writing or I don't know, bad writing or just I don't like the way American television works, which is to spread storylines out, just keep throwing in plot points until you get something that can drive another season so that you can sell another season. I'm not crazy about that. I'd rather they just work on one tight story at a time. And if you don't have a tight story, let the show end gracefully. And so I feel like that happened with Walking Dead almost like right away in season 1 or 2. No,
really?
Season 2. Because I got halfway through season 2 twice and I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, I got up to the Negan episode with the baseball bat and then, yeah.
That's the one that killed it for you?
No, once because he turns into a good guy and you're like, no, wait a minute. You're like, hold on a second.
I love it when shows over time let characters develop and let them change from one thing to another. Like take a next step, find a new direction to go with that character. But sometimes you just want the bad guys to be bad and the good guys to be good. Right?
Yes.
It makes it really easy to follow.
And to die at the end of the season.
Yeah. Can we just have our bad guys stay dead? Star Wars, please? Come on. You've had a taste of Eli's Cat Oil Lip Balm on your lips, but now you can have Eli's Cat Oil all over your entire body. Introducing Eli's Cat Oil Wash Bars to help you bathe more and stink less. These sample bags include 3 bars of all-natural soaps. There's the Salt Flats made with sea salts, Burnt Embers with activated charcoal, and Eli's signature scent we call One Last Shot, with the smell of sweet sandalwood bourbon. All in a dirty, rust-stained, decorated gift bag from our ally in survival, Wildling. Eli's Cat Oil Wash Bars, for when the world is destroyed, but your hands are clean. Available now in the Apocalypse Outpost. Hey survivors, Makeshift here to let you know that a brand new 20-minute documentary featuring Wasteland Weekend 2023 Build Week called Keeping the Home Fires Burning is available now on the Apocalypse Post's YouTube channel at youtube.com/theapocalypsepost. This documentary gives an insider look at how the city of Wasteland is constructed, starting with an empty dirt patch on the edge of the Mojave Desert and ending as the largest party in the post-apocalypse, while celebrating all of the staff and volunteers that make it happen. So check it out now, along with a whole bunch of other videos that we've been posting, including the brand newest 3 Hours on Main Street at Wasteland Weekend 2023. All right, next one on my list. Oh, do you have any you want to throw in here yet?
No, keep going. You're a
Okay,
star.
all right. Did you get to see The Silo on Apple TV?
No.
Oh, okay. This one, I don't
have
know
a
where
lot
it
of
came
the I have a
from.
lot of the apps. I don't think I have Apple TV app.
Okay. Yeah, I think
The
this may have been
Silo.
me borrowing a
Wink,
friend's
wink. Yeah,
account.
yeah. No,
Yeah, wink, wink.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it kind of showed up out of nowhere with no real fanfare, no trailers anywhere. I mean, that's just digital. That's just streaming TV, right? No, they don't do trailers anymore. They just here it is, enjoy. But it was really good. It was really well told. It's a bit of like, oh shoot, like, do you remember the City of Ember?
No.
Oh, this is actually one of my favorite kind of, I mean, I would consider it a bit of a classic, like kids post-apocalypse tale. But it's definitely like made for children. The Silo is City of Ember for adults in a weird way. But really good stuff. A really clever story. It has a lot of like a Snowpiercer kind of vibe, where with Snowpiercer, the richer and more well-off you were, the closer to the front of the train you were, and the poor people to the back. Well, with the Silo, it's kind of the opposite. Like all the rich, well-to-do people are up top, all the lower class workers end up on the bottom floors. So some really cool like statements about society and the world and all sorts of things kind of embedded in there. Really good stuff.
According to the Google, it says epic, rough, and futuristic. What's not to love?
It was all of those things. Yeah. All right. Next up on my list, Sweet Tooth season 2 came out. This one's on Netflix. I love the hell out of Sweet Tooth.
Oh, Sweet Tooth. The first season is adorable, right? I didn't get to the second season, but the first season was very cute.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think the first season was like a 9 out of 10 in my book. Just really well done.
Yeah.
The second season comes in a very close second. There's a lot more like disarray, a little bit more confusion as far as like what the hell is supposed to be going on. But still just a really well told story. I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
Some very, very innovative makeup effects on that show.
Yeah, there's really cool. It's really interesting. So they're doing kind of a perfect blend of practical effects and digital, which I really enjoy. That I think if it can be done practically, do it that way. Like there's some puppets in there. There's a lot of practical effects on the faces, but then there are definitely some digital effects, and I think some full CGI characters. Am I making that up? I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
maybe.
actually. Now that I think about it, I want to say. Oh no, I think there's at least a couple of CGI characters because there's a couple that are pretty outlandish, but maybe not. It could just be that good. All right, last one that I have on my list, and I'm hoping you saw this because I have only watched the first few minutes of the first episode, is Twisted Metal. Did you get a chance to see that?
Oh, I did see Twisted Metal. They just announced at the Video Game Awards we're getting a season 2.
That's awesome.
It was a very funny thing happened watching Twisted Metal. Remember there was the episode with the thong song and they were fighting amongst the casinos?
Well, I just told you I haven't seen the.
Oh, you haven't seen it. So
season yet.
They're fighting amongst the casinos and the thong song by Cisco is playing. And I remarked to my roommate that Cisco's real name is my real name, Mark Andrews.
Oh,
just as fun. That had left my mouth, the character says it out loud. He says, "Do you know this guy's real name is Mark?"
No way.
It was eerie how it happened.
That's funny.
I turned pale as a ghost. But yeah, another good, race to the thing, race back. Good cars, beat them up. Not a whole lot of technical things going on.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
It's like they think Chicago's the end of the world, so he races from Southern California to Chicago, and hilarity ensues.
He thinks Chicago is the end of the world. What's that mean?
That's like they think that's the East Coast,
the furthest you can go.
Yeah.
Why? Well, I'll probably just have to watch the show because I have no idea. because no one knows anything when the world's over.
Because of apocalypse. Yes, we lost the maps.
That's funny. Well, cool. Yeah, I got to go back and watch that one. I actually really enjoyed the few minutes that I had. But I forget what that's on.
It's on
But I
Peacock,
don't
NBC.
Oh, see, that's why I don't have Peacock. I think I had like a free trial or something, and it ran out.
Peacock's cheap.
Yeah, I know. There's just too many to have, which is the problem that they're all having right now. It's kind of wild.
Well,
like when you look at this news, like Disney and the other Hulu are about to combine into one app.
Disney, Hulu, and ESPN, but that is a rabbit hole we won't go down today. But yes, we may have less streaming services when we do this show next year.
Well, that'll be very convenient. I'd rather see more of them combine. I mean, wasn't it great? Remember the golden years of Netflix when they just had all the things because they were licensing everything that you wanted to see, and then everyone put up competing apps, and suddenly they took their stuff back.
Oh yeah, the air is coming out of the bubble. But anyways,
yeah. Especially since, and here we go into some real world stuff. The writers and then the actors strikes happened this year, which led to a kind of a dearth, if that's the right word, of movies. Like I could not think of a single movie that was great and post-apocalyptic this year.
Certainly was a bit of a drier spell in that department. Some things were delayed, but they're making up for it next year. Hold on to your hats, everybody.
Yeah, you ready for this? All right, so we saw 2 huge trailers release within the last few weeks, really, like almost back to back, right? We've heard that these 2 projects have been coming for so long. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be excited about these 2. All right, why don't you say the first one?
First one for me is Furiosa. Here we go, everybody.
Oh my God, this trailer. Holy crap. Usually when they put out a first look at something, it's like a teaser, like really just, maybe one shot, maybe just like a title sequence. But no, they gave us a full-fledged action trailer and it looks so good. What'd you think?
I think it looks like pure George Miller insanity concentrated this time. You got wacky people, you got characters, you got cars, you got fire, you've got crashes. This time we saw some green, right? We saw a spot of the green place, which was new.
Right.
But all of his other color gradients were there, the blue and black and the sand and the sun. The characters look as colorful as ever, and here we go. So much speculation as to what all this is.
Right?
It's fascinating. I did a react video over on my YouTube with Agent O, and it's amazing to watch other people's, and they go, "Oh, XYZ," and I'm like, "Wow, I thought it was ABC," and it's wild.
Oh wow, yeah. Really cool. Now, did you read the comic books, the Fury Road comic books?
Well. Where are my video fans? The comic book is right behind me somewhere on this shelf. It's been in high rotation this week. So yeah, here it is. If you got the individual comic books, there's an extra one. So if you get this one from Vertigo, listen to all the plugs, huh? If you get the full book from Vertigo, you get a bonus issue in the back that's about the war rig. But yes, I did. Here they are.
Amazing. Yeah, they were so good. They had so much like preamble to the movie Fury Road, like kind of explaining a lot of the backstory. And especially, there's a lot of information in those that you don't pick up on in the book. For instance, there was another brother, another son of Immortan Joe. And I believe that he was called Dementus in the comic books. I got to go back and reread them now that I've seen the trailer, because I think there's a lot of stuff that kind of overlaps there.
Yeah, go back and read that comic book. There was another brother. This is the name. It's quite the name. Did you play the video game, Mad Max?
Yes.
So
I haven't finished it yet. It was a little bit of a grind.
Spoiler for you.
Yeah, go.
It's slightly repetitive, but it is super fun, super easy to just pick up, and it's not like other games that are hard because I'm not good at games. Scrotus was the other brother.
that's right.
So it was
That's right.
Scrotus,
All right.
Rictus Erectus, and Corpus Callosum. Yeah, those were the three.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Dementus is all new then. So he might not be one of the Immortan Joe's sons then.
No, there are, if people want a real deep dive on this, me and Radmax deep dived for about an hour on this trailer over on our Wasteland Wednesday. If you want to listen to us theorize on, we believe that there was Gastown, Bullet Farm, Citadel with water, and we believe Dementus, his resource was people.
Oh.
So that is
okay.
That in that trailer, that's little Furiosa, and he's perhaps has people for auction.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go real deep into the dark side of the post-apocalypse, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's really fascinating. Okay, so yeah, the movie is obviously going to be mostly Furiosa versus Dementus, but we still have Immortan Joe that is very much a part of this. So, obviously Furiosa ends up working for Immortan Joe. I guess we're going to find out exactly how all that happens.
How that choice was made, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it looks amazing. I got to say, one of the things that I noticed a lot of people saying about the trailer was that it was overloaded with too much shoddy CGI, which I found really surprising because when I saw the trailer, I noticed a couple, the only things that really stood out to me was a couple of dust effects that didn't quite feel natural, but I thought a lot of the effects were looking very real. I had a very hard time picking out what was CGI versus not, and I felt like the way that the movie is looking so far matches up very closely with Fury Road. What was your impression there?
Only every so often did I feel over someone's shoulder look like it may have been perhaps shot on the volume, but they're also kind of, sometimes there was, somebody said it was like Sin City, which is a kind of an obscure reference, but it almost looked like there was like a gloss or a shine to me. Other people were like, that CG car, and I was like, huh? I was like, what CG car? I didn't see that.
The one that rolls over, I think, right?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know to this day what people are talking about with the CG. But this is the thing, and I don't know, maybe not everybody's been to a San Diego Comic-Con. Sometimes this first trailer we get is not done. I mean, we've gotten trailers in the past where it says insert effects here, and then it cuts to the next thing. So,
right.
I think it looks great, and let me tell you, by the end of credits, nobody's going to be thinking about that.
I agree. I mean, they've taken so long with this. It wrapped shooting. Was it the beginning of this year or beginning of last year that they wrapped? I forget exactly. Let me see. Furiosa wrapped shooting. I'm going to look this up right now.
Do we know if the Mad Max Wasteland movie's done?
If what?
The Wasteland movie? Because he's going to do a prequel and a post and a sequel.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that one's next, but I don't think they've started anything with that yet.
So it wasn't like a side-by-side?
I don't think so, because they didn't talk about any casting from that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It looks like it was done. Principal photography on Furiosa began June 1st, 2022 and wrapped last week. And this came out October 13th, 2022. So it's been well over a year since they wrapped shooting. So obviously a lot of work has gone into this thing already. And they're pretty damn sure they're going to have it out by May 23rd, 2024. So it's just a few months away, which is very exciting.
I am absolutely thrilled. I think. What did you see from the trailer? Anything else? Any other observations?
Ooh, well, I love the way Anya Taylor-Joy looks in this. I think, since we couldn't have our original Furiosa, I think she's a perfect choice to step into those shoes. I don't know. It looks really fascinating. There's a couple other familiar faces in there. But no, I'm still just full of questions, to be honest. What'd you get?
We're gonna get Rictus, right? Because I think Nathan Jones is confirmed. We're gonna get the organic mechanic. He's going to be in this one. My
your
namesake.
semi-namesake.
Yeah. And it just makes me wonder, who else are we going to see? Are we going to get any prequel to Nux? Are we going to see anything from the video games? Like, who else is going to be in there?
Yeah, because theoretically this would be taking place, what, like 15 years before Fury Road, give or take? That was one of the other things that that stood out to me, was they painted this as, they actually gave a date on it. Let me see. From George Miller. I'm starting the trailer right now just so I can watch. Get to the texty parts. Oh wait, this. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
this is 45 years after the collapse. So if this is 45 years after the collapse, then when you compare that to the original Mad Max trilogy, which happens during the collapse, like Mad Max 1 was kind of pre-apocalypse. It was definitely like, the world was not doing well at the time, but it was definitely pre-apocalypse. And then you got Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, which had the bombs fallen yet? I forget what they said there, but there's a weird time gap. The bombs, I don't think, fall until after Mad Max 2. So I don't know. Anyway, if we're talking 45 years after the collapse, our 30 some odd year old Mad Max from the first movies should be in his 70s or 80s now, but of course he's not, because Tom Hardy is not an old man, although it would have been very fitting for Mel Gibson to keep playing the role, I guess.
Everybody just have fun, okay?
I love it. And that is a really good point, is I know that George Miller does want these to be more like stories that are being told throughout the Wasteland than actual documented events that happened, right?
Yeah, the quote is campfire tales told by an unreliable narrator.
Yeah. By an unreliable narrator. I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
perfect.
who knows the timeline? Who knows what? Do you think we see an origin story, or perhaps the last stand of the Road Warriors?
What? Oh, I don't know. What did you see? What did you see?
When Furiosa touches heads with that person in kind of the pit, some would theorize that person is a member of a tribe who are the Road Warriors.
And where would that come from?
That Max was potentially one of many Road Warriors.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like a police force.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
Conspiracy theory.
All right. I'll buy that for now. Hopefully we'll see a couple more trailers before the movie comes out. That's usually how it goes. And we should get a few more clues along the way. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and it's going to obviously be very exciting for all the people that might not know about the Mad Max world. I mean, Fury Road came out, oh goodness, what is it? 15 years ago already?
2015, yeah.
2015. No, 8 years ago. I got my 5 and my 8 backwards. So 8 years ago. So there is a whole new generation that will be kind of watching this seeing Mad Max for the first time in a weird way. Especially the younger people that are just getting into watching more adult films. What am I trying to say? Not adult films, adult films.
I don't know what you're trying to say. How many people do you think are going to come to Wasteland because of this movie?
That's what I'm getting at. Do you remember, were you going to Wasteland weekend in 2015?
Dun, dun, dun. I am a child of Fury Road. That's why I'm at Wasteland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're one that found your way there because of Fury Road.
Yep.
And that was a huge boost. A whole bunch of new people, new creativity, new ideas came out of Fury Road. It really breathed a whole new life into the event. So I think we're going to see a lot of that happen again.
Oh boy, 2019 numbers.
Oh yeah, potentially it could be. I mean, we're not that far off again. It took a while to recover from COVID, but the numbers are getting back up there. We could start seeing some 2019 numbers again, which would be really exciting. But here's the best part.
Here's the best
Furiosa
part.
doesn't have to do it alone, because there's another huge
no.
project on the horizon that a whole other group of post-apocalypse fans is going to go apeshit over. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea, sir. Please tell me. Please sell it to me like a Vault Tech salesman. Sell it to me.
Hey survivors, Makeshift here with some very exciting news to share. To show our appreciation for our Patreon supporters who make all of the Apocalypse Post's content possible, we're going to be starting a Patch of the Month Club for everyone that's in our Outlander tier and above. We'll be featuring original and exclusive designs from the Apocalypse Post and the greater Wastelander community. Members that sign up before New Year's Eve 2023 will be included in our first mail-out in January of 2024. And if you want to donate some patches to the cause, you'll become our featured tribe, business, or survivor of the month that your patch is selected. So sign up at patreon.com/theapocalypsepost and reach out directly at theapocpost@gmail.com.
The Love Bombs provide top-notch outcomes for the most discriminating clients all across the Wasteland. When you need executive escort and protection, intelligence analysis, direct action, or other specialized solutions, the Love Bombs provide a bespoke option tailored directly to your needs. Listen to this heartfelt testimonial from one of the Love Bombs' satisfied clients.
I heard the Love Bombs had saved my precious Pookie Pie from them there scabs over yonder. They was fixing to turn his poor hide into jerky. Woo! Whew! I reckon not a one of those bastards will walk away from this scuffle.
Because it's on the body part.
Goodness gracious, I reckon I ain't ever seen a gun that big. The Love Bombs will give your enemies a licking they won't soon forget.
Yes, the Love Bombs. They're polite, professional, and have a plan to kill everyone they meet. The Love Bombs provide complete confidentiality in their free initial consultation. That's right, the initial consultation is absolutely free. Remember, the Love Bombs. Artillery available.
Well, another long-awaited project's coming out, this one on Amazon Prime, and it is going to be the Fallout TV series. If you guys don't know about Fallout, it's a video game series that's been happening since, oh boy, the early 2000s Fallout 1 came out. I don't even know. I first got involved during Fallout 3's release back in 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. Maybe 2007? I don't know. My roommates got it. They started playing. I got hooked, and it is one of my favorite game series of all times. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, all fantastic games. We won't talk about the other one. But anyway, all that to say, Amazon just released the trailer for that show, and I just watched it right before we recorded because I hadn't watched it yet. I don't know why. I think I was saving it for Christmas or something. But I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, it is very exciting.
Gee, that little Amazon studio, huh? Boy, look at them go. Now, this definitely looks like some money was spent, doesn't it? It does not look. Oh
my god!
One power armor suit was cool, and then in the trailer we see 5 or 6 lined up walking.
Yeah, you're right.
And I tell you what, they do not look like they held back. Everything is the appearance is spot on. The only thing that can go wrong is perhaps the story. But oh boy,
right?
Whoa Lord, does it look good? I mean, it looks come to life. And oftentimes, things change and it's like not like it was, but it looks torn right from the games. Transparency, Marky is a Fallout 4 baby only. Fallout 4.
Oh,
sorry,
really?
everybody.
Fallout 4 was great. That was a good one to get into. I think if you were to go back and play 3 and New Vegas especially, I think there's a lot to appreciate there. As someone that liked all 3 of those.
I have watched some videos about them, but I am a PlayStation 4 Fallout 4 Bostonian towny kind of guy, so
I did absolutely love making my way around post-apocalyptic Boston in Fallout 4. It was so fun.
We got two East Coast
and then,
guys on
as
this
someone
podcast.
so I lived in Boston, moved to LA. I was in LA for 10 years. Now I'm in Nashville, but I'm actually excited that the Fallout TV show takes place in Los Angeles. Not only will we hopefully see some new Vegas crossover, because the new California Republic was definitely a big part of that game, and you do start in California, I believe. But yeah, seeing the devastated Los Angeles is always a good time. We've seen it many times in many movies before, but I think the Fallout version of it is going to be fantastic.
Some people may have played Horizon Forbidden West. We see kind of a broken down Southern California in that one as well. People always like to pick on that Santa Monica Pier, don't they? That poor Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah, well, it's so iconic. Yeah. Okay,
I think it looks great. I think it's going to be good. What's your favorite?
My favorite part of the trailer was when that old timey song came on, and it really set the mood. Because for a second, I was like, oh, they're just going to go cinematic music. But the biggest thing that made Fallout stand out to me in the beginning, especially, was the juxtaposition of this future post-apocalyptic world that was based kind of in the 50s, like 50s modernism, but it was just playing all this old music. So not only were you thinking, oh, futuristic post-apocalypse, but you were these songs were alluding to like that time before of peace and prosperity. I don't know, it's just really cool. Yeah, so I love Fallout music.
Kind of like an ideal Camelot, as they say. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll hear some Ink Spots and all those familiar tunes.
Oh yeah, and hopefully they can get the rights to some of the more iconic ones. Like, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. I mean, every time that song came on my Pip-Boy when I was playing Fallout, I was like, oh, this is so perfect. It's just
they might be saving it for us, I think.
They might be, because I didn't recognize the song in the trailer, but maybe I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, well, like you said, I think they've got the budget to get whatever the hell songs they want.
Yeah. It's not like I know some people have concerns because did they drop the ball on a Halo show? I guess I didn't follow that.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch the Halo show yet. I just saw so many bad.
The Todd, what's his name, is in this. So
there's a Todd.
Is it Todd Howard, who does the Fallout games, is also involved in the show? So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because he's he's the studio producer for Bethesda. So yeah, he was involved.
They'll learn from that Halo mistake.
Yeah. And what was it? One of the Nolans. One of the Nolans is in here.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not Christopher. It's the other one, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Nolan. All right. So yeah, he's in there. The Nolans, they can do things really well. They can also screw things up royally. But I don't know. Just from what I've seen so far, it just looks like they really treated this the right way. And Walton Goggins.
It'll be good. I think it'll be good. Yeah, funny. Not the first time he's played. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maze Runner, was he not also a post-apocalyptic zombie in the Maze Runner series?
That's funny. I don't know. I didn't recognize him in there. So maybe.
He was kind of you remember Maze Runner, the kids.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movies.
YA young adult, as they say. But yeah. Here we go.
Wow. Oh, fun. All right. Yeah. He looks great as the ghoul. The ghoul makeup, I felt like that was going to be really tough to pull off, because if you try that on a real human face in real life, you just can't fake that you're missing a nose very well, right? Makeup can add something to any one angle, but it really has a hard time with 3 dimensions and just making someone's nose disappear. But now CGI is at the point where we can actually do it. So, whereas I feel like some shows wait too long. Like, I think Halo came out probably way too late, although the technology definitely helped. I think Fallout, the show, probably waited just long enough for CGI to be at a point where it'll actually work.
Yeah, I think they're striking while it's hot. And I think we're going to have fun with it. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh,
get out your
it's going to be a blast.
Get on your vault suit.
Yeah. And the great thing about a TV series, I mean, if this is Amazon, we're probably looking at a good 8 or 10 or maybe even more episodes. So that should be carrying us. I forget if Amazon drops one episode at a time or if they drop everything. They probably drop everything. But either way, you can stretch it out and make it last a little bit if you want.
Yeah, I don't remember how they do The Boys one episode at a time? I think they did.
Oh, they might have. Oh, so they'll probably do that with this then too.
Yeah,
because I
maybe.
think a lot of the streaming services are going to start going back to here, so that you have to, keep your subscriction going for longer.
Yeah, you can't do a free trial deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and just binge the whole thing. I mean, binging is wonderful, but almost, I would almost rather they drop one episode at a time for this one, so that it becomes a conversation that goes on and
gives
becomes
you time
like a part
to
of
think.
your life.
Yeah, keeps everybody on the same page.
Right, and then talking about each episode is such a big part of like big shows like that.
It is almost
Anyway.
a lost art of sorts.
Yeah. All right. So even though that's a TV show, that does end our movie section. I got nothing else for movies. It's just really weird.
Well, if we can just askew ever so slightly, there is a sequel to Dune coming out, and some people here who listen may be interested in the sequel to Dune. Looks more the same to me. But I mean, a space fashion show. But I'm here.
When
for
did Dune? Did Dune come out this year or last year? The first one.
The first one came out December last year or the year before. December. No, I feel like it was a while ago now. December 21.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So have they dropped anything about the next one? Oh yeah, Dune came out in 2001. It's been a while.
No, 2021. We just got a trailer a couple weeks ago. There was the video game thing that I think we got trailers, and there was like a whole bunch of Comic-Cons all in the same weekend, and I feel like that's why all this was bubbling up. But also,
I gotcha.
The SAG strike embargoes are lifted, so they can start talking about their projects again. So, they push that little Timmy Chalamet in front of every camera. So.
Yeah. All right. So we do have 3 trailers out. I got to go back and watch these. I haven't seen them yet. I did enjoy Dune. I was not familiar with the source material. So I have to admit, Dune 1, while I enjoyed the hell out of it, was mostly just confusing for me.
I'd imagine it would be. You haven't seen the 80s one yet with
no.
with Sting?
No.
Oh boy, it's a grisly weird one, but give yourself listen. Here we go. Full circle. Kyle MacLachlan in the Fallout TV show was in the 80s Dune. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I'll have to go back and watch all of this stuff now.
Yeah. Don't watch that 80s one with the lights on.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one. But yeah,
okay.
It's going to be another work of art, the Dune sequel.
All right. And that comes out March 1st. Oh my gosh. This spring is just going to be fantastic. March, April, May. So we got Dune in March, Fallout TV series in April, Furiosa in May. Holy crap. 2024 is sounding pretty good to me.
No rest next year. Get your podcast ready. Fire it up. Post episode chat with Makeshift. Here we go.
Got non-live entertainment out of the way. Let's talk about some of the events that happened this year, because between us, we went to at least a handful of them. Let's see. Early 2023, Nuclear Winter. I have not been to one yet, but I think you might have been.
I sure did, and I'm very excited for the next one. Nuclear Winter, put on by your friends at Uncle Zeke's. If you want to know more about it, ask your friend with Uncle Zeke's. Fantastic. Held at a Ren Fair. It's very nice. There's reception. You don't have to write someone a letter. You can just text where your friends are and hang out with them. There's contests and food meetups and pub crawls. It's a very much just put up your tent kind of a thing and hang out.
Gotcha. So it's a bit more of like a regional style event.
You could call it a regional burn if you would. Yeah, it's a little, it's like kind of SoCal based or California based.
All right.
It's a good time. You roll up Thursday and you pack out Sunday, and You leave with some wacky memories.
Oh, very nice. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I need to make it to one of those at some point. It's just too far away, man. And can't do them all. All right, next one up is Oklahoma's own Atomic Falls. That happened in the spring. I haven't been to that one either, and that's a shame because it sounds like a blast. That one, along with Aftermath down in Alabama, they've been going strong. I actually just heard from a couple people that went that said it was a blast, although I heard they got some rain and maybe it got a little cold. But that makes it a little bit different than Wasteland weekend, right? Because,
bundle up.
you know, yeah, there's definitely post-apocalypse stories that take place in the cold. So why not?
Why not? Absolutely.
I'm thinking of like The Road, because it's very wintry and very wet.
The Postman.
Yeah. Detonation over at Uranium Springs and Festival of Ash happened this year. I don't know. Have you seen a bunch more of like photos and videos have been coming from Uranium Springs, and that city has grown so much. So the thing they do there differently is you can put up a permanent structure. I think it's just, you pay like a yearly fee for a plot. Very much, a post-apocalyptic version of capitalism. Not capitalism, just government, like land ownership. But anyway, yeah, you can rent a plot and you can put a building up or have your caravan camper just there. It's really cool. So anyway, that city stays there all year round. You don't need to show up and build anything. You just bring, your supplies and you've got a spot to camp at.
Yeah, and I hear it's like, I've never been and I don't know all the details, but you can kind of go work on your camp, work on your build year round. Whenever you talk to what's his name and he says, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just good old what's his name?
Who runs it? Reverend, right? Lawless?
Yeah, Reverend Lawless. Yep.
Yeah,
he's the top man. I know he's got a whole support structure in place now, so he's got a kind of a crew that helps him manage things and make all the rules and all that stuff. But yeah, I know they do like open build weekends from time to time. Reverend is actually trying to build himself a permanent structure on site. I think maybe so that, first off, there's a little bit more security. Second, I think he just loves it there more than the real world. And third, so that, he can do more like open invites and let people onto the property as often as they need or want to go, or as often as he wants people to hang out with.
Cheers to it. He's building his own Neverland there. Good for him.
Yeah. Pox Eclipse up in Pennsylvania happened over the summer. It looks like they had another wonderful event. And the fellas, the mites down in Australia, they pulled off another Pox Eclipse. I forget if this was the first one or the second one. I know that they had their first one got canceled, I think because of COVID stuff, but they pulled it off this year for sure. And it looks like it was wonderful. They were actually supposed to come on the show and talk about it. And guys, if you're listening, we need to get back on that. We had a little bit of trouble with scheduling because of the time difference. that was the biggest thing. But we got to talk about some Pox Eclipse. Yeah. And let's see what else. You know what? Let's go back to the spring.
Yes.
Neotropolis, Wasteland Weekend's cyberpunk sci-fi event. I went for the first time. This was your first or second?
This is my second time. I've been to all of them.
Yeah. Oh, you are so old school.
Well, what did you think as a newbie?
Oh, let me just tell you. First off, not only was it my first year.
Yes.
It was not only my first year, but second, I was not volunteering in video crew this time. I just went as an attendee. So I had 100% of the time to just go around, enjoy things. I still carried a camera around. I took mostly actually photos this year. Didn't shoot a whole lot of video. I was just trying, kind of doing my own thing. But my God, I was floored. It was so good. Way, way better than I expected. And, I knew that people said it was really fun and different and neat. I did not realize how into it I was going to be. Like, it was just a blast.
Did you deliver a pizza?
I did not deliver a pizza.
Okay.
I didn't know what the pizzas were until it was way too late.
Well, they're just a pizza unless, something else happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had many pizzas. I, of course, had my space again for the second year. My little Ripper Duck airbrush cube in Mega Block 1. So I was
Love
the
it.
recipient of many pizzas. And my thing was a stop on some people. I was included in some of the quests. So you came and you got a tribe airbrush stencil, or you had to come get airbrushed as part of a timed quest once on Saturday morning. So it was super fun from that point of view. Like I was still volunteering, but it felt more make-believe volunteering than really volunteering for you when you crack the whip on me. No, I'm kidding. Like fun, nonsensical, silly things. A little more spontaneous. Yeah. So, it's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts about it. Was there was a lot of silliness, and the fun thing was, the sillier it was, the more seriously people took it, which was kind of fun. Like people just really dove in and just gave it their all. And just like Wasteland, you can choose to participate in character or out of character. Doesn't really matter.
I think you stole some toasters. Do you want to come clean on that? Because I think I saw you sneaking around. Now that the event is over, I don't mean to throw you under the bus or anything, but
oh well, thanks. Yeah,
just call me out real quick. I saw you sneaking around.
Oh yeah, well there was all right. There was one booth. I forget. It was I think it's Bunny, just in a different character. Bunny's one of the people that has been going to Wasteland forever, and she was offering like a bounty for every toaster you could bring her. And the crazy thing was, I don't think she had it fully figured out, because you could technically bring the same toaster back over and over and over again, and as long as she was convinced, she was convinced. So people were running around grabbing a toaster, bringing it over to her, getting their little chit stamped, and then you bring the toaster somewhere else, or you could set it free by putting it in toaster jail, which is odd that you would put a toaster in toaster jail to set it free. There was something about that, some wonky storylines. I don't know. It was so fun though.
Toaster jail was right next to me this year, so there was a lot of like, anytime I would see out of the corner of my eye as I was airbrushing, shuffling feet and somebody reaching in to snatch up a toaster.
Right.
Did you get thrown in jail by the Sentinels?
I did not. I somehow managed to stay out of trouble with the Sentinels.
Okay.
But man, they were so fun to watch.
They were good. They were good.
Yeah.
What else?
Such a blast.
What else did you do on your first year? It was a little warm this year, wasn't it?
It was a little bit more what?
Warm.
Yes, it was warmer than expected, because the weather said it was going to be pretty damn cold. But as it turned out, it was almost as hot as Wasteland, which was great for me.
I had started to take all the cool jackets and hoodies that I had airbrushed and modified and that light up. I had started to hang them in the back of my Mega Block 1 cube as set dressing, to at least show that they existed. Get them out of my tent, at least. I'm not going to wear them. They can sit here as set dressing. So.
Oh, yeah.
But at night, it was fantastic. Did you see the bands? Did you see Nightclub?
I saw bands. I don't know who exactly I saw, but I wandered that way several times, and it was really fun. The core was such an interesting stage, because it's not a two-dimensional stage. It's not like they're just up there in their proscenium stage. It is wrapped around the audience. So when you're in there, you're kind of in the dance floor / audience space, and then the band is all around you. It was just really neat. It didn't look like much in the day, but once the sun set and the lights turned on and it got a little dusty out there, it was really cool.
Yeah, Neotropolis is really a thing that comes to life at night, I think.
Yeah. But not to say that the day wasn't fun, because especially in the Mega Block areas.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mega Block is busy. Mega Block is rocking 24/7.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it doesn't stop. But yeah, tons of fun. I love the density of it. It definitely brings out that like Tokyo or New York or Chicago, like dense city vibes, which is very appropriate for cyberpunk. And yeah, I got to say, I cannot wait to go again. So I'll be there this year once more to Neotropolis 3.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right. And of course, the last festival we have to talk about, Wasteland Weekend. How was it for you this year?
Did you go?
What? Son of a... Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, I went. I haven't missed one. I haven't missed one since, well, I missed 2010, but I haven't missed one since 2011.
Well, I didn't know you missed one. Huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was flawless.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I caused so much shenanigans just on Wednesday. I was like, well, I'm good. I'm that's a wrap. I could go home now. I had caused so much trouble. This one, it felt like 4 times the shenanigans.
Yeah. There was a lot going on. It's really hard to remember everything because I think this year I averaged the least sleep of ever.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was
you were out late.
I don't know what's going on. I was waking up a little bit earlier and staying up just a little bit later every day, and just it was a blast. But I definitely feel like the lack of sleep led to some incomplete memories. Just how it happens. just how it happens like that sometimes.
So you have to go back in your camera and relive it then.
Well, yeah, of course. That always helps. Actually, it really helps, especially when I'm thinking about something from years past, because my camera is my memory. Like, especially before maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't put the camera down very much. And now I kind of, run the crew a little bit more and shoot a little bit less. So they're less simpatico as they used to be, or that's not the right word. I'm not worried about it though. You know what I mean?
I caused some shenanigans with a thing called JetBlue. Did you hear about it?
No, tell me about JetBlue.
Oh no. So I guess JetBlue was a big rumor in 21, and then it everybody thought it was the flight crew doing it because it was JetBlue. Right? It's a plane joke. And so it's an ordinary joke. It's an ordinary joke about planes. And so eventually I just decided, if people think it's us, let's just do it. So I just did it. And we shook it up. We shook things up with it because I found out on Thursday that it wasn't me, and the people who it was wanted it back.
No way. Oh, that's hilarious.
So a lot as the dominoes fell day by day, I see there is a bit of a target on me for co-opting JetBlue, of which I to this day have no idea who the original JetBlue is, and it's very exciting. But I think I'm circling the drain, if you know what I mean. I think my character is in trouble for co-opting JetBlue, and the season finale may be coming on this story. Dun dun dun.
And is that going to be ongoing? Like, does that continue next year?
I feel like it's been going on since 21. This mysterious JetBlue.
Okay.
And it is, it's gone on year after year. There's your little JetBlue here. If you're on the video,
let me see.
Here he is.
I can barely see it, but I think I'll be able to see it better when. Bring it. Oh, so literally JetBlue.
Yes,
because it's not red.
That's jet. Yes, a jet.
No, a jet that's blue. Blue, that's jet.
And yes, and then I had patches, and I had the whole machine going. And Wednesday night, I made the big announcement at the green carpet at the Skullduggers, and it just knocked the first domino over. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm not sure. Who knows?
All right, cool.
I fear for my character's safety for the shenanigans he's done. Dun dun dun.
Very. And that's not the only shenanigans you're going to do. Now, you brought the White Crow back this year, right?
Oh, no, I did, but it never got into play, so everybody get mad at me. Nobody kind of snatched it up. It kind of just chilled at the flight crew.
What, really?
The White Crow he's still up for grabs.
Oh, so he was there the whole time and no one got it?
No, but I don't know if everybody kind of knew how to use the thing, and so Sometimes
Yeah.
it was there, sometimes it wasn't. The whole
I
JetBlue
gotcha.
thing became
That got priority for you?
Yeah, oh gosh, Lord, yeah. And then
Okay.
the flight crew, we had an enormous symbol that could also be stolen. We're very creative over there, so we kind of had a lot of riffraff. But rest assured,
Nice.
the crow and the windmill, the wind god, are all in good hands.
Okay, good. So we'll see the White Crow back. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you at least put it back into play, even if it didn't get played with.
So, who knows? Maybe someone will steal it at Nuclear Winter.
Oh, is it going to be there?
Dun, 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 drama.
There you go. All right,
Drama.
challenge goes out to everyone that's going to Nuclear Winter.
What shenanigans did you get into? Because, I remember some, but I'll let you tell. I'll let you tell the ones you had a million shows, right? You had open mics, you had performances.
I think, this year I got less into shenanigans than I did into doing the performances. So I reprised, the Dukes and I reprised our Fuck It Fake It performance for the Wednesday night variety show at the Rec Room. Me and Shodire and Feather Edge hosted kind of like an acoustic music afternoon at the Dauntless Express Coors bar. So every day we were doing like an acoustic set of music, and we made it a bit of an open mic. So if anyone wanted to show up and play, they could. That was very successful. I loved the hell out of that. It was just really nice to just go and relax in the afternoons. It's a shaded spot. We provided some coffee and some Gatorade listed as definitely not piss. Which was fantastic. It was recycled electrolytes, like my commercial. And then we also did the Dukes of the Nuke USO show open mic. That one was very chaotic getting it ready, but it ended up going off really well. I was very happy with it. It was a lot more like performance styled stuff this year than actual shenanigans. I don't think I stole a single relic this year. And I didn't do many missions, although I did drop off like 70 pieces of mail that were going out to patrons at the WCC post office, like day one before the post office was even open. And I was just like, here. And the funny thing was, because it was Wednesday, they didn't have a whole lot of mail that needed to get delivered right away. So they actually started delivering like right away, like first thing, right after the gates opened. So I started seeing, my mail get delivered so fast. It was really cool to see that in action because I haven't sent a whole lot of mail before. It was just great.
In addition to delivering mail, you yourself, listeners, can write mail so that we can keep the mail economy flowing.
Yeah. And best part is sending a letter is free. They don't send packages though, just so you know.
Oh yeah. Somebody was sending potatoes this year. Who was doing potatoes? If I got another potato in the mail this year,
Did you get some potatoes? Yeah,
I kept getting potatoed.
I think the official size requirements is that it has to be smaller or equal to a potato. Is The Dead Raider Jerky Company is expanding to new territories, and we've got a whole new line of products your dirty feet are gonna love. Those raiders thought they could hide from us. Instead, they're giving their hides to us. Introducing Raider Rugs. These short-haired leathers will beautify the entry of your hovel, or can be used as an unwelcome mat to let all the raiders know they can't just walk all over you anymore. It's you who's going to be walking on them. Raider Rugs are 100% natural, come in various sizes, and are completely unique, and so may contain stab wounds, bullet holes, scars, burn marks, or tattoos. The skinny Raiders will make a good runner for a hallway or the end of your bed, and the larger Raiders are great decorative area rugs. And for every Raider rug purchase, we'll go out and kill another Raider, which is just good business economics, and you'll be helping make the world just a little bit safer for all peaceful wastelanders out there. Dead Raider Jerky Company's Raider Rugs. We've got skin in this game.
Listeners at home, Mike Darling is coyly dancing around his most major achievement this year. I wonder if he's going to tell us about his participation in Thunderdome. Is he? Did he get hit on the head and forget?
Oh man. All right. So this goes into my like top 5 accomplishments of 2023 for sure.
How
Is
modest
I did
and shy he was about this. Top
No,
5
no,
accomplishments? Do you want to tell us what the other 4 are?
The other 4, no, I'm not. No, those
Okay,
are unrelated. Unrelated.
Okay. Go ahead. What
No,
was it like?
but-
You set us the scene. You're in line. You bribe your way to the front.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
All right,
butterflies?
Yeah, definitely. It felt like standing in line for a roller coaster at Six Flags in a lot of ways. The anticipation's there. You get some adrenaline, you get some endorphins, you get all sorts of like weird chemicals running through your brains, brains, both.
Oh, you only have one brain.
Brains, you get the brains.
Yes,
you can have multiple brains. Yeah, the brains. Like a scarecrow wanted some brains. No, zombies want brains. Scarecrow wanted one brain. So, all right. So yeah, walking. All right. Well, let me start back here. Adept really wanted to fight in the Thunderdome. She was looking for someone to fight, and I was not volunteering myself initially because I outweigh her by 50% easily. But then she eventually just straight up asked me, would you like to fight me in the Thunderdome? And I was like, well, I'm not going to not take you up on the challenge. So yes, let's fight in the Thunderdome. And we decided, let's try to make it a big thing. So we put out all the press and the photos and the whole deal. And we, tried to do like a Team Farlander, Team Dukes thing, which didn't take off quite as much as it did back when it was Beans versus Adept. But, there's probably some really good reasons for that.
Somewhere I have that.
The Beans versus Adept?
No, the big paper of you two face to face.
Oh, cool.
I
that's
didn't
right.
stand by my props.
Oh,
my
gotcha.
props
Yeah, I've got
my visuals for the podcast. Silly me.
Oh, that's all right.
Yes, but I do remember there was propaganda and things. You hyped it up real big. What was on the line? Anything or nothing?
Okay, so yeah, in the lore, last year the Dukes had sent. We always do like a gun running mission for people to run guns, and they can earn guns or caps or whatever else. And so we have this gun crate that we would send to another tribe, and then the next mission, of course, would be bring it back. And maybe not the first time, but one of the times that this gun crate went to the Farlanders, Bridger, who is pretty much always in character out there and loves to improvise, told these two starry-eyed first years, I would see the guns, and made them open the case to show off the goods. And of course, when they opened the case, it was empty because no one wants to carry around a bunch of heavy stuff all day. So anyway, he made them take the case back to the Dukes, fill it with guns, and then return with everything in there. And so we decided to turn that into some of the lore, right? The Dukes sent, tried to cheat on a shipment. And then we said that the Farlanders underpaid us for that shipment. Basically, they didn't pay their full bill. The Farlanders said, well, they're not going to pay the full bill because, it showed up empty the first time, blah, blah, blah. So we made that part of it. And of course, the fight was over who was actually at fault. So being as things went the way they did, the Dukes were at fault for not putting guns in. And we don't get the rest of our payment. That's pretty much where it's at. But also, because I got absolutely destroyed in the Thunderdome, Adept now has
alert.
our war. I know. Just skip ahead, why don't you? Well, I've talked about this on the show before.
Teasing.
But yeah, Adept currently has the War Chief's hat, which they basically have run of the Dukes for the off season, which they haven't done anything with that yet. She has not made any proclamations or anything. So,
what was it like? So you're in Thunderdome, you get in front of the line, you get strapped in. I'm sure that was cozy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the line is electric, and yeah, you can bribe your way to the front of the line. There's multiple ways to do it. The best way to do it is to bring an unopened bottle of booze. And here's the thing, there are tiers, because the girl who was bribing right in front of me had like a plastic bottle of like some pre-mixed margarita or something like that. And that did not get her a choice spot in line. She went to the back of the bribe line. Meanwhile, I had a
But by tears, he means levels, not people crying yet.
Yeah. And I had brought, I forget exactly how much it cost, but it was probably like a $30 bottle of this like hickory barbecue whiskey or something like that. So it was something a little special. And basically, we get to select exactly our spot. So Adept didn't want to go first, but we didn't want people waiting there because a lot of people wanted to go just to watch the fight. So I had told people we're going to go as early as possible. So we decided we're going to go fifth. So that's where we lined up, right at fifth. So the better your bribe, the more choice you have in your placement. So anyway.
Folks, the fences were sold out. Okay? The people were hanging from the rafters, literally at Thunderdome. It was 3 people deep. I was there. I witnessed it.
Oh my God. It was so fun. All right. So next up, you go through a few steps before you're even allowed inside the dome. First off, you take off all your accessories, your bags, your pins, your sharp items.
Yeah, get ready.
You get down to
loose
just
parts.
Yeah, all the loose comes off. You're down to basically just, some comfortable, simple layers. And then Thunderdome crew, or I should say Death Guild, they're walking you through each step and they're kind of like giving you a little bit of information along the way. It's fantastic. Like you really feel like they're not taking care of you in a way because they're putting you in some really dangerous situations, but they're making sure you have the best chance of survival every step of the way. And then you get to the edge of the dome and they say, all right, someone's going to come get you. Once they do, you are theirs. You do what they say. You go where they tell you to go. You put your hands where they tell you to put your hands. And by the way, if they accidentally touch your junk, just know that it's not personal. And I was like, oh, right. The strap, because they put you in a harness.
Yeah.
So that's the next step.
Snug, like mountain climbing, what it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mountain, like a rock climbing harness in a way. But yeah, so someone does come over, they grab you, they literally either take you by the arm or by your belt or something. They just grab you, they take you, bring you to a place, they strap you up with the strap, and you've got one chance to make sure that your parts are where you want them for the fight. Because I was like shimmying a little bit, and she was like, "Do you need to redo that?" I was like, "I think I'm good." She's like, "Because if you don't now, you will regret it later." And I was like, right. And I just made my quick adjustment. But then the next thing is one fight ends and your fight's about to begin. So they tear someone off of the bungees. They bring you in. They strap you into those bungees. It's all super fast because they have this down. It's a well-oiled machine. And just within moments, they throw a bat in your hand. And for those of you who don't know, it is a foamed protective, like wooden bat, kind of like a LARP bat in a way.
It's like a
they
stick
in your
with
hand.
A pool noodle, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like
a
sock.
Basically, yeah. So they're like, kind of safe. I would feel good about handing these to a couple 7-year-olds and saying, "Go beat up your brother." You know what I mean?
Wow, so there's the makeshift babysitting service for you.
So yeah, next up is you've got your bat in your hand, and then 2 ginormous people pull you back, and the guys behind you on the gears, they're cranking you up. So you're in the air, your feet don't really touch the ground because of the bungees, and they pull you back and they let you go. And then suddenly you are just face to face with this screaming demon of a woman who is so well practiced in the arts of Thunderdome battle that you're lucky you can maintain your bowels.
That is so flattering to call your opponent a screaming demon woman. Tell the viewers at home what is their record in Thunderdome.
Well, I'll start off by saying Adept is one of my best friends. We've gotten really close over the last couple of years because she lives right up the road from me here in Nashville. She's in a little town called I'm not going to say it because I don't know. I don't know if she would want me to say it. But yeah, about a half hour outside of Nashville, and she prior to this was 3-0, and this was her 4th fight.
And so, after you fought this screaming demon later, what's her record now?
Yeah, it's 4-0. She's got 4-0. I'm now 0-1, which I might bring up like the 2003 Red Sox right about now just saying, they were down by a little bit too. I don't even know if that was the right year. What was the year they finally won the World Series again?
I do believe that was 2004, 86 years after 1919, 1912?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 2003 Red Sox was about right. I would have played with it whether it was that year or the year after, but yeah, this was my losing year. Next year, I will win the championship.
Oh boy, the hat is on the line. Get ready.
It was such a blast. Adept was crazy. Like, she told me before we get in the Thunderdome that she blacks out in the Thunderdome and does not know what is happening in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I knew that it was going to be a challenge. I knew that my chances were low. And of course, every time a guy fights a girl in the Thunderdome, the audience generally wants the girl to win, and rightfully so. So, yeah, I knew my chances were really slim. I was still surprised just how demolished I got.
I will say this as a person who was covering the exterior as a journalist, a volunteer journalist member. You describe Adept as being possessed by a demon. Upon their exit, during their exit interview, the lipstick was flawless. Not a lash was out of place. Looked as if they had just left the green room. Perfect hair, not flustered, not out of breath. You, on the other hand, whew.
Really? Is that how it went down?
I'm just letting you know, professional Thunderdome assassin, that right there.
Okay. I will say that one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was right after, when they kind of shoo you back out of the Thunderdome, and then you get your clothes and your bags and stuff, and you put that back on. You had someone there literally grabbing people and bringing them over to you. And that was really cool too. Like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Because you do not have your brain firing at that point. The Thunderdome takes everything out of you. You cannot do anything. But when someone says, hey, come this way, you're just like, okay, that's where I'm going.
I got a whole production team out there. Okay. That's one of my favorite gigs.
I love that. But it was super cool. You feel like $1 million when someone says, hey, come this way. Your interview is waiting for you. Like that felt great. Yeah, it was a blast to do the interview. Do you have would you happen to have a Thunderdome video coming out this year?
Yeah, maybe I do. Do you?
Well, I didn't shoot much of the Thunderdome this year, but obviously when I've been working on getting the highlights reel edited. And when I do, there's a ton of amazing Thunderdome footage to put in there.
I think to talk about my YouTube, I think I'm going to do cars, the various car stuff I shot into a video, Thunderdome, Uncle Zeke's Bar Crawl, and Spicy Boys. And then I think I have one more video. What else? Oh, both the green carpet and the red carpet. So I think those are going to be my 4 major videos coming out. That's
fantastic. Oh, I'm looking forward to all of those. You've been putting together some really cool stuff. What is your YouTube? Let everyone know.
Oh, it is the Cosmetic Mechanic. That's the YouTube stuff. If you want to see more of the Hollywood body paint kind of Comic-Con stuff, that's Marky Makeup. Marky Makeup. But the Cosmetic Mechanic is the YouTube channel for just Wastelandy things.
I love it. Amazing. Well, we do need to kind of wrap up because I've got some holiday planning to do. But before I do that, we have talked about you designing a patch for the upcoming Patch of the Month Club. I want to talk about this real quick. And I love that you're down for making a patch because on my Patreon, I've got a bunch of different levels, and it's all like per upload. So, if you're in there as $1, it's $1 per upload. I only charge 4 max a month, I think. Some months have 5. So every now and then there'll be a 5, because it's one a week. But for anyone that's in the $10 and up tier, which you're also able to always put a cap on. So you could just, once you pay your $10 once a month, that could be it. But anyone that's in the $10 tier or higher is going to be automatically put into this Patch of the Month club. So I've been working on collecting and designing a bunch of patches because that's become a really big thing at Wasteland, bigger than it used to be for sure. Like tribes have all their own patches. A lot of people trade them. And I've been designing a few. And I've got 2 ready to go, like literally sitting here next to me. I'm not going to show you them yet because I don't know what order they're going to come out in. But I'm very excited to have a Marky Makeup come and design a patch for me as well. So what kind of a design would you make for me?
What kind of design do you want? You want it to be makeshift themed, right?
No, it just needs to be post-apocalypse. It can be anything post-apocalypse. But I love, like, you've got a shop, you've got your Etsy shop where you have a bunch of patches already, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of patches and bottle cap pins because it's fun and easy. My stuff is always kind of bold and kind of not graphic, but cartoony and straightforward and not subtle. So get ready.
That's what I want. I want all that
stuff that
bold,
reads good.
cartoony, straightforward, not subtle. That's the kind of patch we need.
Well, hold on to your hats.
All right. Perfect. Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with. But yeah, I'm going to start this in January. So if you are in the $10 and up categories on the Patreon, you will start getting your patches delivered in February. And I'm going to wait until the new year to announce which patch is going to be first. But I'm hoping a lot of people jump in there because these are so much more economical when I buy a lot of them, and I want to keep them as exclusive as possible. But not every one of them is going to be exclusive because it's just hard. You gotta buy these in bulk. And so until I've got enough people involved where I can order just the right number, until then the exclusives will be, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying something. You got to do what you got to do.
I have been a big fan of everything you try. Your posters back there. Every time I need to send a postcard, I send a postcard. Oh, yeah. So your little postcards. I got all your stuff. Dog tags. You do. I got it all.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of yours too. I'm actually surprised I wasn't happening to wear one of your t-shirts today.
Remind us, is there a future to your beauty line? Where was that? Did you?
Oh, well, I added to the soaps. I added soaps to the beauty line. Finally. So I've got a trio of soaps that are also Eli's cat oil wash bars. There's 3 different scents. Well, they're not actually scents, but one's salt, one's charcoal, and one's like bourbon something. But yeah, so there's 3 of these like little wash bars that come in a really cool rust painted bag that comes from friend of the show, Wildling, sent those over. They look really cool. But yeah, I still think there's going to be more. It's the merch is tough. Merch is tough to sell. And then when you sell it, you got to ship it. So it's really tough to stay on that stuff. It's just kind of wild. But that's one of the reasons I want to try this Patch of the Month Club thing, because then it'll kind of create a routine of like shipping stuff, and maybe I'll be able to push some more merch. I don't know. But yeah, it helps artists like myself and like Marky, the Cosmetic Mechanic, when you buy our stuff so that we can keep producing all these crazy Wastelandy videos.
Buy our silly stuff, folks. Now more than ever, shop small, support an artist, skip Walmart, and find something weird online.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So anything else you want to throw out there?
Did you have a good 2023?
I think I had a great 2023. This felt like a good year. I don't know if it'll go down as like a crazy memorable year. It was just good, like there was no major crises, no major change of life stuff. It just good. Things are just swimming right along.
Do you have a message for Mike Darling in December 2024?
Oh, good God, Marky. Why are you going to hit me with these kind of questions? Yeah. Right after I'm going to ask you where you see yourself in 5 years. Right after this.
Oh boy, that 5 years is too far, to be honest.
Yeah. In the meantime, makeshift of 2024. You either need to dye all of your grays or stop dyeing your hair if you're not going to stay on top of it, because this whole like 4-tone color thing is not doing anyone any favors. That's all I'm going to say. So hopefully you fixed it by then.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Apocalypse Post. I am Marky Makeup, your cosmetic mechanic.
No, you
this
can't.
Is
you can't hijack
Mike Darling. Oh, what? You want to do the end?
You can't hijack the end of my show. That's your show. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Marky Makeup, the cosmetic mechanic.
I can do this all day.
Hey, once again, what's your Instagram handle so that people can tune in there?
The Instagram is the Cosmetic Mechanic, and there is 149 episodes of Wasteland Wednesday available. They go live 7 o'clock California time, and it's a lot of, sometimes it's interviews, sometimes it's arts and crafts, sometimes it's Furiosa Trailer Apocalypse series, and it could be anything. And I'm always open to having guests on too, so hit me up if you got something to discuss.
Perfect. Well, I love it, and I know I've been a part of that show a couple of times now, so it is really fun, and I'm glad you're doing it because, someone's got to, and you're crushing it.
Yeah. Crushing it.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening. Give the show a thumbs up or a comment or a review if you're able to on your player. And the best thing you can do is, if you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend, but if you hated it, share it with an enemy, and don't forget to hijack their show. Anyway, we'll see you next time, survivors. Stay alive.
End days, end days, end days, end days, end days.